truck race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tonight will be a total of 80 laps with no stages, one fast repair, 4 additional sets of tires. A few things to note: the only black flags will be cleared passing yellow due to wrecked cars wrecking the pits. We will not clear black flags for speeding through pits or unsafe entry or exit. During the restarts, let's keep that pack tightened up. Laying back to jump to start will result in a penalty, and you must maintain your line until you cross that stripe. After the yellow flag's out and you safely made it through any wreckage, please catch up to the pace car immediately to prevent delaying others. And when cycling through green flag stops, state over the radio what your intentions are to allow others to move around you. Good luck. Have some fun.
Correction, 65 laps, not 80.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. 65.
That's okay. We still love you.
Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Legacy Truck Series and DSI Racing. I am joined by Jonathan Medlin. How are you doing, Mr. Medlin?
Doing wonderful. It's Saturday night. It's truck racing night in DESI Racing. And honestly, the atmosphere is electrifying here in Indianapolis.
You know, especially with that one meme of the guy they're going real fast, a real left, son. And for those who don't know, that was like 9 o'clock in the morning when that was starting. But we're running 65 laps here as everybody is getting underway. And I do believe it will be a fun race out here tonight. I think it's going to be interesting to see how these guys will do, especially with, you know, definitely turns 1 and 3, because, you know, that's your braking area, that's your braking zone. You're coming very hot with a lot of speed. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to turn out.
It is going to be interesting to see, you know, and I mean, most of these guys are good. We got in the first row, we got Matthew Tennant and the 59 car sitting on the pole with Brandon Hinton in second place.
In row 2, Jason Phillips and the 8 car starting third, Ian Silva starting in fourth. That will do for row 2.
Then we got Hunter Davis in 5th and Aaron Underhill in 6th for row 3.
For row 4, we got Jonathan Geisman 32 starting 7th, and Dylan Grutzmacher 66 starting 8th. That'll do for row 4.
Row 5 is going to be Steven Tibbs in 9th place, Edwin Warren in 10th.
And row number 6, Todd Front 69 starting 11th, and Mark Holloway to 56 starting 12th.
Row 7 is Ryan Godfrey in the number 6 machine in 13th, and Sean Dion in the number 3 machine in 14th.
Chris Ragnar to 57 starting 15th, and John Crosby starting in 16th.
Christian Clark in 17th and Dylan Hinton in 18th for row 9.
Dylan Smith in the 37 starting 19th, and Christopher Morton 82 starting 20th.
Brian Sousa in 21st and Craig Knoll in 22nd.
And the pace car is heading off, and that will do it for us here. Our pace truck, and a green flag is out as we start our racing here at Indianapolis.
You know, Indianapolis is a very interesting track. It's not really an oval; it's more of a square, but it's definitely a high-speed track, and it does cater to the pack draft. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race tonight.
It is what you call a rounded off rectangle.
There you go. There you go. Matthew Tennant in number 1 after the start, Hinton in number 2, Phillips in 3rd, with Underhill and Silva rounding out the top 5, and they are nose to bumper for the most part up in the front of the pack there.
Very clean for the most part for our first lap, and I gotta say, a lot cleaner than I was going to expect. I expect a lot of people, you know, being a lot more aggressive on lap 1, but so far everybody's basically single file. It's Matthew Tennant trying to cut off the draft, but I think that's probably way too early to start to be doing that, because he got 65 laps here. Oh, a little bit of bumper sideways. And it looks like it's safe from the 88. And oh my gosh, I think he just got ran over. able to keep it straight again. Let's see, slow, but keeping it green. That was a nice save by the 88 of Hunter Davis.
Indeed, Hunter Davis able to maintain control of that Chevrolet truck and, you know, keep it. He had to go off low and slow down quite a bit, but you know, Hunter Davis is one. We call him the Swiss Army knife. He can work his way back up through the pack pretty cleanly, and great job by Hunter to keep it green.
It's one of those things of where, like, you know, he's very fast and very quick, but it's something to be able to keep a car from, you know, just sliding out of control like that, especially like, you know, we get run over, like going over 100 miles an hour, especially coming off of, what's it, basically turn 2.
Indeed, and we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, and our producer's getting that fixed up and got it back to racing action now. You know, Indianapolis is, I said it earlier, it's an interesting track. And, you know, you've got some high bank turns, but they're not extremely high bank turns like a Talladega or a Michigan or Daytona.
It's a New Hampshire banking style, in my opinion, because in all reality, like, it's flatter than a lot of the high speed tracks that you know, you usually go and see. I mean, Indy cars are able to keep, you know, they're built for, like, you know, those high speed corners. So they're, like, in my opinion, more built for this. But stock car, you got to slow down a lot of your momentum just able to make it to that first turn cleanly without running over the back of the car in front of you, or sliding up into the wall off of, you know, either out of exit turn 1 or turn 3.
Exactly. I mean, you come out of a turn and you're into a small straight before you get into the next turn.
Yeah, it's you got to be able to keep that momentum going, but it's very difficult to keep all that momentum going through the turns. But at the same time, you know, you got to break down for the car in front of you, or if not, you got to break down enough momentum or enough speed just so that way you ain't going to go slide up into the wall, and you're going to keep momentum as much as you can for that, you know, that short straightaway. It's challenging for a lot of, it's, in my opinion, extremely challenging for that little straightaway, because a lot of things can happen there.
welcome back, DESI Racing fans. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully, we've got all of that sorted out. We're back now with some great racing action as we have had 16 laps clean. That's pretty impressive for the Legacy guys, I must say.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and we had like some very close calls. With I believe it was lap 2 with Hunter Davis getting loose and then getting ran over. But as of this moment, still green flag. 16 laps almost completed, and I do believe right now with 50 to go, 49 when we cross the start-finish line. So you gotta wonder how long are these guys able to keep this up. I mean, eventually these guys will have to pit, so maybe we'll see something around that time when they, when they make those green flag pit stops.
For sure, Ben, and not much is shaken up as far as the front of the pack is concerned. We've still got pretty much the same group of 4 out in front of everybody else, but I mean it's kind of spread out across the track, and don't see a whole lot of pack drafting going on. The only notable shakeup up front is Brandon Hinton has moved his way into first in front of Phillips and Tennant, and then Grutzmacher has made his way up to 4th, and Silva rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see too much at this current one with everybody being so spread out. I mean, some people consider this a super speedway track. I mean, I understand why, because it is very much draft dependent on these long straightaways, but at the same time, it's really not. To me, it feels like, kind of like an auto club or Michigan. You have to let off the throttle at some point, just so that way the truck or car can just break down for these turns. It's not a full flat out track like, how everybody thinks it is, because it would be different, if those turns are like, banked, but it's just a lot more banked out now, like, if you were to do like a Daytona or Daytona. But unfortunately it's not. You gotta literally you gotta let off, break down, make sure your line's right, and keep your truck or car out of that dirty air of the vehicle in front of you, just so that way, you're not gonna be washed up into the wall.
Yeah, and like you say, the bank angle is not as steep as Dega or Daytona, even Atlanta, the newer Atlanta. But, it doesn't, in the trucks, it doesn't take a whole lot of lift. I mean, lift off, get kind of set into the turn, and then just ease your way back into the throttle to keep that momentum built up. But, we just heard 99 is going to be pitting this time around. That'll be Christian Clark coming into the pits. And I noticed him kind of slowed up off pace a bit back there. So wondering if he's not having some issues with his truck.
Like how I was talking about it earlier, you really truly got to be mindful of the wall of, off the exit of 1 and 3. 2 is not as bad as 2 and 4 is not as bad because, you lost some of that momentum, but, in all reality, if you put a little bit too much throttle, yeah, you're going to smack that wall. You got to be, off the apron just a hair, because that apron will send you around. There's a whole lot of factors just to think about. And as we see on the screen, Mark Holloway smacked the wall off the exit of 1. So,
and you saw how fast it shot him down to the bottom too, and almost got him into that apron. So I mean, yeah, you got to really be mindful and careful of that. Like
you just got to be. It's just, Indianapolis has its own, it has its own trick to it, and your job is just at this point just figure out how it needs to be when you're behind somebody, and it's just really difficult just to make sure you're not washing up into that wall off the exit turn 1 and turn 3, because if you could get loose and smack the end of the wall, and then you're going around it. That's it. Your race is practically done at that point.
Indeed. So Christian Clark, I'd still seen him in the pits on that go around. So apparently he had some problems with his truck. Unfortunate for Christian, but the top five, it's still holding about the same. Brandon Hinton in first, Phillips in second, Matthew Tennant in third, Grutzmacher in fourth, and Silva in fifth. Todd Perrott sixth, Tibbs in seventh, Underhill in eighth, Dylan Hinton, son of Brandon Hinton, in ninth, and Sousa is in 10th. One thing I do want to say, I like the fact that we see Grutzmacher up here in that top four after the finish that he had last week at the Chicago Street Course.
Yeah, he ran really consistent on at Chicago Street Course. It's just, gosh, he's a good, well-rounded driver, and I think that's going to be like help him out for the long run of the season. I mean, he's just been really consistent. Been up in the top five, I think, majority of throughout the season. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, Indianapolis, you gotta know where to put your truck into these turns. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta give yourself a little bit of space so that dirty air ain't gonna, you know, sing you up into the wall as much. But you can really make a run off the exit of one and go into two. You could get right back on there. So it's all about making momentum when you can.
Yeah, you know, 23 laps into the race, and we're hearing more and more people calling to go into the pit. Sean Dion just called out that he was going to be entering the pit. So, you know, it's getting to be about that time. Get some fresh tires, refuel, and try to set up for the long game strategy. Because I mean, right now we're looking at 24 laps in the books, or 23 laps completed in the books this time around, and it's been green the entire race.
Yeah, it's been green the entire race, but like, you know, like you said, everybody's starting going to pits. Like right now we're at that fuel window. Everybody's coming down the pit lane. Everyone is getting their fuel and tires, so you're definitely going to see another pit cycle here shortly, as we see Santa 3 John Crosby in the 6, passing the 8 car of Jason Phillips, and now they're gonna catch up to the 5, which Brandon Hinton in the 5 is starting to pit this time.
Yeah, you know, Crosby right now, he's trying to get a lap back, along with Godfrey and Sean Dion, Chris Morton. They're trying to get back on that lead lap. So, you know, they're pushing down the door of Hinton, not so much for position, but for lap.
I mean, this will, as funny as it sounds, like this will show you, you know, even at a track like Indianapolis, like how much tires matter. I mean, this is a flatter track, and you're going a lot faster. You wouldn't think tires wouldn't matter as much, you know, since, you know, everyone's going about 190 miles an hour. But so these tires matter a lot, because Crosby and Crosby 73 and the 6, they make quick work of, you know, the top 5 guys.
Absolutely, and you know, we see that top 5 as Crosby and them come through, dipping down and going into the pits to get themselves some fresh tires, fuel, top off the fuel, and
63 of Craig Knoll got speeding on pit lane, so he's going to have to come back down and serve that speeding penalty. So that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt big time, especially a track like this. I mean, speeding penalty is going to hurt about basically anywhere you go, but here at a somewhat of a super speedway style track, yellow flag is out.
we're gonna get a look at this replay. Looked like Morton and I can't tell who that is, got into each other and kind of spun out there.
Oh, exactly what happened? Just got real tight on the wall. Ooh, he hit the wall hard. I guarantee you that right front was really destroyed to bend in. Do believe we have our source for the caution tonight.
And Ben, did you happen to catch what number that was?
The first one we're on there was 37. Hold on. Let me try to see if I can find the other one. It was Dylan Smith. Okay.
Dylan Smith, and the other one was Christopher Morton.
Oof.
Well, that'll be the first caution of the race. We are 26, well, not 26 now. Should be probably about lap 28 going back green.
20, 29, somewhere around there. Giving a little ballpark estimation. Now, here's where a play of strategy is going to come in. All right, everybody's, just pitted for fuel. Everyone's just pitted for tires. What would you do, Bedlam? Would you go in, even though you just pitted for fuel, would you go back in for some more fuel? Because, I know you just pitted for fuel and tires, but shucks, it can help, especially a place like this.
Honestly, I think in a situation like this, after having just pitted, I'm probably going to keep it out on the track and try to get in his best position as I can moving into the restart.
That's a good point, and especially it's crazy though, because now you got a lot of people. You can have a lot of people probably stay out. Some people are going to stay out. Try to get that lucky dog position, and it's going to be one of those things of where if I was a lap car, I'd probably just go ahead and pit for fresh fuel. I mean, I may not take tires, but I definitely want a little bit more fuel just in case.
And, see, if I was lapped, I would definitely be trying to stay out and get that lucky dog candidate. But other than that, just try to be in the best position that I can be in going into the restart and, try to move my way up in the standings. I mean, if you're 10, 15 laps removed from pitting, then yeah, probably go down, hit the pits again, get some top off on fuel, possibly take 2 tires. Of course, I'm of the school, if you're going to take tires, take all 4. But, 2, 3 laps out, yeah, I'm staying out on the track.
Very good point. Very good point. And honestly, Craig Knoll has, in my opinion, been saved by the bell for one reason only. He could have been probably a couple laps down, because that speaking of pit lane, I believe while green flag is out, it's probably around 40 seconds. So, in my opinion, that saved Craig Knoll probably additional lap from being another lap down instead of just being 1. So right now he's 1 lap down instead of 2,
and possibly 3. Yeah, that is very fortunate for Craig there. We are back double wide, getting ready for the restart. We've got Hinton in first, Phillips in second, so inside outside on that front line to see Hinton's going to be the control vehicle. So we'll see how this restart goes for Hinton and Phillips.
Yeah, and even as far out or far in as we are in this race, we're still going to see people pit for fuel and tires, regardless. Because, we saw a lot of people are, pinning for fuel around lap 22 at the earliest, I think 25 or 26 at the latest. So no one is going to be able to make it all the way back around for, just basically make it to the end on fuel. So it's going to be interesting to see who will decide to pit first this go around, and who will decide to undercut everyone, and who's going to try to stay out the longest.
Yeah, and I figure it'll probably be somewhere around lap 45, lap 50, lap 55. We'll start seeing another pit cycle. People trying to get more fuel, get fresh tires to finish off those last 10, 15 laps.
Yeah, 100%. So, got a lot of people trying to catch back up. Pace truck's lights are off and back can go green this time, bye. And I'm just gonna say it. I wonder if we are able to keep it clean as we did last time. Pace truck basically drifted into pit lane. Back you see the green flag.
And
green flag is
that last one comes in right before the green flag comes down.
Man,
with a great jump.
Yeah, he had a good launch, very good launch.
I got excited for that last car making it around because I'm going to be honest with you, I have fallen victim to not being there, falling back on the restart and getting penalized for it. It's not a fun place to be, but it does happen. So I was very excited to see him get back around and not be in place before the green flag hit.
Yeah, right now, almost seeing cars going. We got cars going 3 wide, heading into turn 3.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Where do they think they are? Talladega?
Hey now. While the Xfinity race in a little bit earlier, it's going to be interesting to see, like, you know, where these guys are going to be probably like 5 laps. And because in all reality, all these guys are just sending it right now, dive bombing it into turns 1 and 2. Some cars are still saying double file, but most of these guys are still single file.
Yeah, and I noticed somebody was dropping down into the pits right there, but I didn't catch who it was. Looked like they may have had a little bit of trouble there.
I saw one car hit the wall and was severely slowed down. So it's going to be crazy to see what's going to happen now, because we're almost halfway, 2 or 3 laps from being halfway in this race, and one truck little diving. I'm going to go 3 wide into turn 1, just trying to cut off all that draft into turn 1. Good.
Yeah, that looked like that might have been the 32 of Jonathan Geist, given the paint scheme there.
Oh, one truck smacked the wall. Oh my, that was a hard hit.
That was a very hard hit. Yeah, 16. That was a very hard hit. Shot him all the way down to the apron.
To back up to the lead in 66 of Grootsbacher. It's now in the lead past Brandon Hinton for the lead.
Yes, and Phillips is right there on him as well.
The yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out, and 92 of Edwin Warren is around. As someone's bumper is flying off.
I think that might have been Edwin's bumper flying around.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Oh, contact. '99 Christian Clark right behind him. So kind of turn 3.
Yeah, Clark's going to go low, and the one that's following up behind Clark is going to wash up and catch the back bumper.
Night. Yeah. So what happens here? And Warren's still clear. Oh, still wasn't clear when he entered the turn. And that'll be the yellow, the second caution of the night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are our lap 34 of 65. We're going to be 31 laps to go when we cross the start finish line going green. Right now, I don't know if more cautions will bring cautions, but I hope that would not be the case. But Mr. Medlin, what do you think will happen now?
Given the way that these guys have been racing, they've been racing very respectful, and they have been racing very clean. As you see, we've only had 2 cautions so far, 4 lead changes. So I mean, they've done very good of maintaining control of their vehicles. Prime example, 88 Hunter saving the on lap 2, but they've done a really good job. So I really don't expect to see cautions bring cautions here. I think they'll get back to some clean racing.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, in my opinion, the top 4. It's going to be interesting to see these guys, the top 4 of what they're going to do, because Brady Hinn has been fast on the restarts, and 6-6 of Grootsmacher, pass him on the inside and off. In my opinion, I think it was out of turn 3. So pace truck heading down the pit lane this time, drifting into it again. Skillful pace truck, and Grootsmacher giving his command to go green, and green flag is out.
Grootsmacher with a great jump, getting the launch much like Hinton did on that last one. But is he going to be able to hold on to it as we move through the field? And I think he will, because he executed so well last week in Legacy, putting his truck on the line that it needed to be on to carry the most momentum and cleanly get through those turns and curves at Chicago. Oh, and we got a big wreck in the back of the field there. Several people went off into the infield. And caution will bring caution right there, as there was a big pile up at the back end of the pack, and we'll get back and get a replay on that in just a moment. But wow. So coming off the restart, we've got look at Morton here. Oh, and Jonathan Geist gets into Morton, and then Austin Knight gets into the back of the Geist.
I think it's one of those things of where yep, E2 coming down, and I just think it won't a situation where Jonathan Geist was trying to do that. I think it was just unfortunate circumstances, but what a save by the 82 from right there, because that was, because look at right here, because that was the left rear quarter panel basically, and running them on top of the truck. Yep, just got tapped, trying not to hit him. 32 going sideways off the exit of 2.
And Geist did a good job of maintaining control and not hitting the wall or taking on a whole lot of damage. The Geist did a really good job there too.
Yeah, that's a tricky situation to be in 100%, because look, like, you have a whole lot of momentum, and then that happens, and you're trying to slow up, and then 3 is Sean Dion gets in the back of him. Oh, we can't see it. Oh.
Yeah, the 3 is Sean Dion getting into him too, but I mean, just that could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Oh, 100%. A lot of people are now going down to the pit lane. So, yeah, you're 30 laps to go, 29. That's where we cross the start finish line. So, yeah, I think this will be another great time to go into down a pit lane, get some fresh fuel. Yeah.
But that top 5 staying out on the track and electing not to pit this go round.
Yeah, that's a little bit insane.
We were talking about it before. and talking about, is this the time to pit or not? Now, I said that if we were 10 to 15 laps removed from pitting under green, I would pit. This would be where I'd pit for sure.
Now, the crazy thing of this is, though, is like, yeah, sure, we probably had like maybe, in all reality, like maybe 6 or 8 laps of green flag runs so far since the first caution. So it's gonna be a wild one now. It's gonna be absolutely insane to see. You got guys who are 8 lap fresher tires. Now that will 100% make a difference. Now, I know some people. Some people are probably taking a faster pair. So
that's why I would pit now, is to get those fresh tires and try to stay in pace with everybody else, because you got some of the faster guys down there that just went into the pits and got tires that can run up here with these top 5 guys. So I mean, if I'm in that top 5, I definitely would have elected to take the pits. I mean, okay, I lose position, but I've been able to fight back up all night and get myself up into that position. So why not take the pits, get the fresh materials and work my way back up?
So here's the thing. We are about to be what? 28 laps to go? Yeah, 28 laps to go now. 27 when we go green. How much fuel saving you're going to do now? Because I know some people who probably be able to fuel save this and be able to last. Because right now, I know some people say they had like 23 laps of fuel on the long run. So now, would you be able to save those extra 3 laps? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Because a lot of people who stayed out, they're definitely not going to be able to, save that amount of fuel. Because you've been like how we talked about earlier, you've been out on, 8 green flags run. So you're definitely not going to be able to stay out. You're going to have to pay for fuel regardless at this point.
Even the ones that just pitted on that pit stop, or on that caution right there, they're still going to have to come around and pit at some point, even if it's just for fuel. So yeah,
it'll be close, because right now we're going to be 27 to go. Last time people pitted, like the earliest people pitted was 23 laps in. Latest people pitted was 26 laps in. So can you save roughly 3 to 4 laps? Who knows? It's doable, but it's going to be hard to do.
Hunter Davis did it last week and coasted in and ran out of fuel pulling into a stall.
Exactly like that. It is doable, but it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard to save fuel and maintain position.
Yeah, and you're going to have a lot of guys pushing, but those top 5 are going to have to pit. And it's green flag is out. 66 of Grootsmacher with a 5 of Brandon Hinton behind him. Yeah, both those guys had a really good start right then there. At 73, John Crosby making his way up to the top 3 the first time tonight.
Yeah, John Crosby is no stranger to saving tires and fuel. He is a clutch master. He is a tire saving wizard. So you've got 2 guys up here in the top 3 that are very capable of being able to conserve both tires and fuel.
Now, on a track like this, this is where a monkey wrench gets thrown into there. And in my opinion, the 8 car Jason Phillips, he is in the best position to save fuel and tires because he has the least amount of air on his truck. He has the least amount of air, and on top of that, he won't have as much of a problem like, saving fuel, and he can let off a lot earlier. Just keep air off his truck a lot longer. So it's going to be very easy to do. It's 73 at John Crosby is still right behind the 5 of Brandon Hitton. It's coming 25 laps to go when we cross the start finish line. It's going to be interesting to see.
Grootsmacher's just set a pace, and he's out there in front. He's got clean air. He's conserving tires. He's saving fuel, and just watching the rest of them fight behind him.
Yeah, and in my opinion, the only problem being out that far ahead is if you're trying to save fuel and tires, fuel mostly, because you have the most amount of air on your truck. That's going to be the key thing that's going to be hurting the 66 of Grootsmacher right now. He's going to have the most air hitting that nose, and it's going to cause him, honestly, not to save his more fuel if he was like, the 73 or the 8 who are in the draft, or the 86 of Tollison.
Oh. Had one coming down into pit lane, and they got sideways and bashed the wall. Looks like that might have been Todd Perron.
Yeah, it did look like the 69 of Todd Perron. And that's going to... That was weird. I mean, I understand why he came down to pit lane, because right now you're at that, area where, hey, I pit now, I don't have to pit again.
Looked like he was going a little too fast. Hit them brakes trying to slow down to pit lane speed and just lost it into the wall.
Yeah, unfortunate for the 69 of Todd Perron. Right now, we are now 23 laps to go. If everyone pits in now, they don't have to pit anymore unless there's a really late caution. You pit now, you ain't got to worry about fuel anymore.
I'm going to say most of these guys on these caution pits they weren't taking tires on every one of them. They were just taking fuel. So, this would be a good time to, like I said before, sometime between lap 45 and lap 50, be a good time to go in, get a fresh set of tires, top off the fuel, and get ready to make that late race run.
Yeah, and honestly, top 14 are the only ones on the lead lap, and so we got another truck going down pit lane in the back. So and I think now you're gonna see more and more people, honestly, gonna come in. I mean, I think it's just me. I think it'd be crazy right now to not take the opportunity to go ahead, top off on fuel. That way, when it works comes to worse, you have a little bit more room, just to flat out not worry about it.
Indeed, and I figure you'll probably see John Crosby, Hinton, Phillips, and Tollison all pit before Grootsmacher. Grootsmacher will probably be the last one to pit out of those top 5.
Yeah, out of the top 5, Grootsmacher is, in my opinion, as bad as this sounds, in the worst position when it comes to overall strategy. Because right now, Grootsmacher, he has same thing. Crosby hits the wall, and I was just saying, Grootsmacher is in a bad position for one reason only. He has nobody in front of him to take that air off and help him save that little bit of extra fuel. As we see Mark Holloway coming back out onto the racing surface. So right now we're going to be 20 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line. So, yep, it's going to be now a game of who's going to pit first. Who's going to try to go down pit lane?
So look real quick at our top 5, actually top 10. We have Grootsmacher in first place, and then behind that we have Hinton, Crosby, Phillips, Bullison, Godfrey, Tibbs, Underhill, Dillenhen, and Morton. That'll round out the top 10, and then of course, running out the last 3 that are on lead lap, we have Sean Dion, Jonathan Geist, and Matthew Tennant.
I think I heard the 6 of Godfrey say he was going to head down pit lane.
And so did the 73 of John Crosby. So that pit window now has been initiated by
and the 86 has just said he's heading down pit lane as well. So, yep, as I expected, a lot of people, there were going to be those guys who stayed out who going to have to pit. So, and they chose, in my opinion, very good time to pit.
I agree, and you know, Phillips and Crosby, they were really in the best position because, you know, they can control when they want to pit, and still they're going to be able to get out and get back up there pretty quick by the time that the leader comes into pit. And you know, Crosby's no stranger to being in the front. We know that. And so he's going to be able to fend off Brandon Hinton, again, no stranger to being up front. So he'll be able to fend off anybody that comes up. And the advantage that they're going to have is being the last ones to pit, they're going to have the fresher tires.
Well, at this moment, if you were to decide to undercut, you put yourself in a good spot for, you know, having the freshest tires on the track, and you know you're already pitted. So when the pit cycle finally, you know, ends, you're probably back up right up there when you pitted from the start.
Yep, exactly. Seeing him coming out of turn 2 there and getting a little loose, sliding up towards that wall.
It's that's probably going to be a factor of a lot of people who stayed out the longest, because you know you're going to give it a little bit of loose coming off of exit. Grootsmacher now heading down to pit lane, which turns the control over to the 5 of Brandon Hinton, as he has the 8 of Jason Phillips behind him.
Yep, that's gonna put Hinton. I figured Hinton would have pitted before Grootsmacher, but you know, Hinton has a way of doing things, as Christian Clark and Edwin Warren have nicknamed him the Magic Man. He has a way of doing things that some of us don't understand, but man, he knows how to get it done. He strategizes in a way that is unthinkable and makes it work.
Yeah, Brandon Hinton has a lot of strategies that, you know, when he does it, and the 8 of Jason Phillips now heading down to pit lane, his strategies are honestly very interesting to see, but they always work out for his favor. So while they may be weird to a lot of people, they work for him. They always have.
Exactly. You know, that is one of the things that I absolutely love about DES is, you know, the drivers that we have are just incredible. They're very knowledgeable, and they are very skilled in their own rights and know how to make things work in ways that other people could not do.
So right now we're 16 laps to go, 15 when we come to the start finish line this time by. Will we see, and Christian Clark over the radio said that he is going to be pitting. So a lot of people are going to be cycling in and out. So, and that's a time of where do you want to be? Do you want to be in the pit? Go ahead and pit now, or do you want to stay out as long as you can? It's like a coin flip, you know.
I want to be a fly on the dashboard of Brandon Hinton's truck to see where he's got left in fuel to see if he could make it to the end of this race, because that looks like it could be what he's going to try to do.
I don't know if they have that on their dash anymore. I know they used to, but I don't think they got that anymore.
The 21 of Underhill just come darting up back there.
Now it's gonna be, you're gonna have people. Well, 3 of Sean Dion pitting.
Christopher Morton pitting as well.
So this pit cycle has definitely not ended. So it's 94 giving position to the 21. And Grootsmacher, same thing of John Crosby.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say he took that position.
Grootsmacher said, "Nope, this is mine, not yours anymore."
Yeah, Crosby in 10th. Grootsmacher just moved his way into 9th. Morton dropping down as he went into the pits. Geist is in 9th. Sean Dion just dropped down to 11th. So everything's kind of starting to sort its way back out now.
Yeah, 100%. And got the 5 of Brandon Hinton. And as of right now, I think he is the longest person to stay out on his tires, minus the 21.94. So
28 laps.
Man, Brandon Hinton's been out there for 28 laps. Like, you gotta pit at some point, because right now 13 to go. You gotta be almost out of fuel.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pit at some point. And it would be, it'd be better to pit now than it would be to wait too late.
Yeah, and Crosby and the 66 of Grootsmacher pulling away, so he might be trying to stay out as long as it possibly can, but I don't know if that's a smart play, but it's one of those things.
Right now we're riding inside the number 5 machine with the pilot himself, the Magic Man, Brandon Hinton.
He has definitely performed some magic.
Absolutely. I understand 100% why Christian Clark in the number 99 truck has coined the nickname Magic Man for Brandon Hinton, because he definitely knows how to work some magic.
A lot. And Brandon Hinton finally goes down pit lane. And then we'll hand the lead over to the 21 of Aaron Underhill.
Do you think that was a smart play to wait that long to go down pit lane?
In my opinion, no. No.
So we just got word that Aaron Underhill's been out for 22 laps compared to the 29 that Hinton was out. So Underhill might have to pit before too long as well.
There's no way he can make it. Because with the amount of air that he had on his front, and as long as he has stayed out, I find it very hard for him to stay out. Because right now, we are 11 laps to go, going to be 10 to go this time. I find it very hard for the 21 to be able to make stay out as long as Brandon Hinton has, and most importantly, make it to the end. I don't see a way for him to stay out that long. Yeah,
and 94 Tibbs just announced that he was going to be pitting as well. So it's just a matter of time before Underhill has to come down pit road and relinquish the lead to one of the guys behind him.
Yeah, and it's got to the point now where most of everyone in the lead lap cars are spread out, so I don't think you'll see too many people. I don't think we'll see another caution, but it's just one of these things of where, oof, if you stay out as long as you have, I think it'll just hurt you. I think it hurt you in the long run to stay out as long as you have with 9 to go, because right now Brandon Hinton was top 5 when everything I think cycles back around. Well, he'll definitely be top 5, but I don't think he'll be what do you call it? I don't think he will have a potential for the win anymore.
So right now we've had 3 cautions on the race tonight, and so yeah, we normally take a poll between the broadcasters as to how many cautions we think it's going to be. I said 10.
I said 6. Our producer, Mr. Damon, has said 5. So, and last night he also made a bet. He said, and I quote, I said 1 caution. And the other broadcaster, Hunter Davis, who broadcasts on Friday night, said, "Nah, man, you're crazy. It's going to be a lot more than that." But no, there was only 1 caution that entire race. So to our producer, Mr. Damon, congratulations on winning the what do you call it, broadcasters poll. So congratulations to you.
2 more cautions tonight, and he'll have it 2 nights in a row. Aaron Underhill's still out there, and he's got it's amazing. He's 26.3 in front of Grootsmacher. At some point, though, he's going to have to come down pit road, and Grootsmacher will be back up there in first. But Brandon Hinton has moved his way up the ranks.
It's one of these things of where, I hate for being a broken record, but gosh, a lot of the times you see these guys make these weird things, staying as long as you can. Like I did that a lot of times, but now I'm trying to figure out when is the right time to undercut, when's the correct time to pit. Because sometimes you can stay out as long as you want, but it can hurt you at the end of it, because guys like fresher tires like Grootsmacher, he's going to definitely make it in. Aaron Underhill does not have an opportunity, in my opinion, to make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, I don't think Underhill's got enough fuel left to make it to the end. Tires maybe, but fuel definitely not. We were at I believe it was 22 laps a few laps ago, so I mean we're probably looking at 26, 27 laps that he's been out now. So our producer just let us know 28 across the line, and Hinton pitted at 29 laps. So it's coming. He's gonna have to pit.
Now, I will say this. This is going to be something I think none of us thought about. If a caution were to come out, what would you do as the rest of the field? Like, would you stay out, or would you pit? I know a lot of guys would pit for fresh tires, but 100% of the time, I mean, that would save Aaron Underhill a whole lot. But what do you think about that?
A caution comes out, 5 laps to go, potential for a green-white checker, possibly even 2 green-white checkers. I'm going into the pits. I'm taking 4 new tires. I'm taking fuel.
And Underhill, I do believe, has just pitted.
Yes, he has. He is coming down pit lane. So that's going to put Grootsmacher coming across the line in first.
And staying out that long may have hurt him a lot right then. So we're 4 to go. 66 has a lot of room on his hand right now. He has 2.5 seconds to the 8 of Jason Phillips. Right now I'm hearing
Grootsmacher is holding that 2.5 second lead pretty handily over Phillips. And then, of course, got a little bit of a gap between Phillips and Tollison. It's just, some real spread out right now.
Yeah, we're 3 to go, 2 to go when it crosses the start-finish line. I mean, a lot of guys who probably stayed out or have some damage. And right now we got the 7 of Austin Knight really slow to the 66 and Super. 2 to go. 66 still has about a 2.5 second. And Austin, oh my gosh. Austin Knight, he was right behind 66 and he hit the wall coming to exit of turn 1. Austin Knight trying to give a lane to the 8. Well, we see green or yellow flag come out right before Grootsmacher crosses the line, and white flag is in the air, so we'll be finishing this race green. Grootsmacher to turn 3, over 3.5 second gap to Jason Phillips. Back to the 66 of Grootsmacher. And the 66, 2 in a row for the Grootsmacher. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do us for us tonight here at the Legacy Truck Series here in Indianapolis. Medlin, thank you so much for joining me in the booth tonight. And here shortly we'll be heading over to the Premier Series at Iowa Speedway.